In the crypto bear market of 2018, I literally lost everything. And it is so dangerous what I see a lot of new crypto investors go through both mentally and emotionally in these markets that causes them to either hold for too long, sell when they should be buying, or buy when they should be selling because they don't pay attention to the charts and they don't pay attention to mass market psychology. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what's happening right now in the crypto market. We got the rest of the altcoin market just down massively. If we go to cryptobubbles.net over the past month, a lot of these projects are down 40%, 50%. So is it the best time to be selling? Is it the best time to be buying? We're going to be discussing that in this video, and also some key charts that will give us a better understanding of where we are in the macro market cycle for this bull run. What's about to happen next for XRP, what's about to happen next for XLM, and the most probable scenario for HBAR, along with the rest of the crypto market with this recent shakeout that just took place, and what I'm doing with my portfolio right now. Because as you know, during the 2021 bull run, I sold Bitcoin at nearly $57,000 and I bought back in again at about $16,700, and I spotted a lot of altcoins that did very, very well. I shared a lot of those with you guys, and as you know, not every single altcoin will do well. That's the name of the game. And these videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always consult your financial advisor because you know that crypto is risky. You could lose a lot of money in these markets if you don't know what you're doing. But on the opposite side of the scale, you can make a lot of money if you know exactly what to do. So that's why these videos are here, to help you do your own research so you can make your own informed, educated decisions. So if that's okay with you, then let's dive right in. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. Comment 777 if you're feeling bullish. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So let's dive right in first, talk about Bitcoin, and then let's get into the altcoin market and discuss what we see happening on the charts, because we could talk about opinions on what we feel will happen next, but I want to talk about the facts, because whatever the facts show, we weigh it based on probabilities of what's most likely to happen next. And so I have the RSI up, Bitcoin on the daily right here. And we can see in the past when Bitcoin saw a dip down several times below 30 on the RSI, the dips were bought up relatively quick. I mean, if we look in the bear market of 2013 all the way to 2015, when the market bottomed out right here, Bitcoin was at about $150. The RSI came all the way down to about 19. So anytime, as you guys already know, if you watch these videos in the past, anytime the RSI goes below 30, generally speaking, that's oversold conditions. Depending on how far out you zoom, the further out you zoom, the stronger the signal, of a buy signal or a sell signal. For example, if we are below 30 on the monthly, then that is a very, very strong buy signal. Again, not financial advice, but that's just based on facts. If we're on the daily, it's not necessarily the strongest buy signal, but if we look based on the past, we can give ourselves some ideas of confluence here. So I've circled on the left-hand side of the screen each time that the RSI dipped down to either 30 or below 30, and you guys can see these line up impeccably with great buying opportunities where the dips were just scooped up and the market trended upwards. And so I remove my emotion completely from what's about to happen next, and I just look at the past and what's happened in the past to give me an idea of what's the highest probability. And so if we look at the chart on the right hand side of the screen, when the market bottomed out at about $15,600, the RSI was all the way down here below 30. We saw a recovery on out of here. Bitcoin went upwards of 25K. Well, the RSI breached all the way above 87 on the daily. Good time to hedge, right? If you plan on day trading the markets. Now, obviously, we understand that time in the markets beats time in the market. So just really holding long term and riding from the bear market lows to the bull market high in the euphoria stage towards Q4 of 2025. It's like the smartest thing you can do, and just relax, take a nap in between, figure out ways to make more money and accumulate more in the meantime is the best strategy. But that's boring, right? That's not fun. If you're watching these videos every single day, we want to find good opportunities for you guys to be able to make as much money as humanly possible. So when we look right here, when Bitcoin dipped down back in August of 2023 until October of 2023, the RSI was the lowest it's been the entire bull run. And so this was a massive, massive bull signal right here. And sure enough, the markets rallied up. Bitcoin's ETF was approved. We saw some market manipulation happen with the SEC's Twitter account. You're getting hacked. And Gary Gensler saying The news wasn't real about the post, then it was real. And so massive manipulation right here. The price rallied up to 52K. The SEC posted, the price crashed down to like 37. The RSI crashed, it didn't quite make it to 30, but this was bought up relatively fast. Bitcoin rallied upwards of 73K. So where are we right now on the relative strength index on the daily, and how does this compare to the past? We're at 27 right now. So this is incredibly bullish in my opinion right now. And sure, we could go lower. Bitcoin could dip down to $50,000, $52,000. Very similar to what happened back here post Bitcoin's halving. When Bitcoin rallied up to $770, it saw a sell-off. It consolidated at this ascending support. It broke the support, and it was a flash crash. It was very, very quickly right here. And it wicked up, consolidated, and then slowly started to work its way back on out of here to retest the all-time high and pass it again. So the RSI breached down really fast, and then it got bought up. So we want to see something like that happen. What I don't want to see on Bitcoin's price chart is for a low, slow, drawn out selling like this, and just for this to take place for Bitcoin, because that would mean bad news in the markets. This slow, long drawn out selling, we would rather have it be quick in a massive V-shaped recovery like this. We want this to take place. And so if they're going to nuke the markets, and the markets are going to, liquidate a lot of leverage traders, the last longs that there are, it needs to happen fast. If it doesn't happen fast, we're going to reevaluate our approach here. But just looking at the RSI based on history, it's incredible. I think this is going to be one of the biggest buying opportunities where people will see Bitcoin at the $50,000-ish range ever. And during the next bull run, maybe we'll dip back down to the next bear market will dip back down to these levels. But, we back tested the previous range as support that was resistance back in November 2015. And so the previous range that would be support would be the peak when Bitcoin's ETF news came out. So that'd be right around 50K. And if we were to draw this support box in yellow on the right-hand side of the screen all the way over, it's these levels right here that Bitcoin was at as well too back in 2021 for this bull run, for the head and shoulders pattern right here, and then ultimately for the complacency stage dead cat bounce, it couldn't quite make it back up to it, and then we fell off a shelf right here. So this would act as a major support level right now. We're kind of at it right now at like 56K, but I want to see a V-shaped recovery for Bitcoin and a continuation to the upside, and then for the RSI to bounce as well too. That's what we want to look for. Now, I believe the RSI will bounce. The real question though is if we see a bounce and then something like this take place, and then a continuation for another further sell-off to the downside, because that's giving people a lot of fear. That is almost the PTSD that we saw happen back in, if I zoom out the chart right here, on the left-hand side of the screen for the previous bear market before the last one of like 2019, where we just traded sideways for this long period of time, and we had COVID and the whole pandemic and stuff, So if the government plans something like this, it's not out of the question that something like that's possible. It could happen, although I don't think it will this year. Maybe they do something leading into election to interfere with election. That could happen. I don't know. When you really think about it, look at what happened last election, and how everyone was stuck at home and things were chaotic at that time. So could they do it again this year? Worried that Joe Biden might not be reelected because of that debate? Anything's possible, guys, but look at that as an opportunity. And so the way that I see things is I see difficulty as opportunity. I see mass fear, the biggest opportunity ever, because when we look at the fear and greed index, we're at 38, we're in fear. So if we dip into extreme fear, probability of us going from extreme fear back to greed again is very, very high. Now you just have to zoom out, because each one of these candles is a day right here, going back to November 2022 on the right-hand side of the screen. And so with Bitcoin to see a retest of this ascending support right here, it would be roughly anywhere, in the short term, if we see just a flash crash, $40,000 to $48,000 or $50,000. And so that could happen over the next few months, and then for us to work our way on out of here to go back to the all-time high. And the reason why I think we're going to go back to the all-time high is looking at the minor capitulation data in this chart right here, which shows the days until the next halving, the blocks since difficulty bottom, and when the previous halvings took place. And if you look right here during these periods, I talked about this in my last video that I just made showing you guys this, going back to the last halving in 2020, we consolidated for a period of time. We ranged, we saw some choppy price action where Bitcoin rallied up, then it sold off, rallied up, then it sold off, then it went parabolic as they printed money to stimulate the economy for the CARES Act and the stimulus checks and all that stuff, and that went into the crypto bull market. And so the cycle before then, when the halving took place in 2016, well, we saw a sell-off, consolidation. That was the chart that I just showed you where we back tested the previous range as support. Then it was a V-shaped recovery. It got bought up and started working its way on out of here. But if I go back to the chart, it took an extended period of time for that to happen. Look on the left-hand side of the screen right here. If we were to measure from June of 2016 to where Bitcoin passed its all-time high again after that V-shaped recovery, it took about 187 days. So on the right-hand side of the screen, if I remove these drawings right here, and if I were to measure from the all-time high, how far are we into this sell-off? Well, we're like 113 days right here. So if we were to go to 187 days and just base it off of the past, that would put us into September. And so, we're most likely going to range, trend a little bit lower, maybe see a flash crash until later this summer. And that falls in line with what I expected to happen. I didn't really expect too much price action to the upside, even though it would have been nice to see that, to just go parabolic. But I think closer to election is when we're going to see Bitcoin break out and make new highs. And so, if we see something like this, a deeper V-shaped recovery, and then for us to work our way out of here and then ultimately pass the all-time high leading closer to like November, December, it would be much more in line to what happened right here during the 2016-2017 bull run, which is actually exciting because that bull run was incredible, guys. It was parabolic, but you had to be willing to stomach these 20% to 40% corrections, because it's not really a correction until you're over 20%. These minor little dips that took place right here were the little baby warm-ups of, 19% right there. That wasn't even really a 25% correction. Another 19 or 20%. The most recent one is the biggest dip so far at 27%. But compare back to that 2016 bull run right here, this was 36% correction. This correction right here was another 33% correction. The one that I just shared with you right here was drastic. I mean, this one was a 40% correction, and that was just the start of the bull run. Look at what happened after that when Bitcoin rallied upwards of $2,900 and started to go parabolic. We saw another 38% correction. We rallied up even further, and then look at this dip. 41% correction right here, rallied up even further. What was this correction? This correction was another 29%. So I'm expecting for the next year to 2 years, going into the end of 2025, actually a year and a half, for us to see, 20 to 40, maybe even a 50% correction. So this is one of them right now. And so just feel good about it because it's a buying opportunity. Look at what happened after the halvings right here. Just look at the history. After those corrections took place, we marched up. When we go from light green to yellow and then from yellow to orange, that's when we want to be hedging the majority of our position. So when I say this is dangerous in this title or it's over, for people that are thinking it's over or for people that are saying it's over for the crypto market, well, is that true or is that just to gain engagement? Obviously I gain engagement on these videos by using shocking headlines, but they're rooted in facts and they're based on truth and they're based on what other people are saying as well too, and dispelling myths and rumors and talking about what's actually happening. And so it's the furthest thing from the truth that it's over. We're right in the early stages of it because Bitcoin's halving just took place. The ETF got approved for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and then they're talking about potential other ETFs like XRP. I think XRP or Solana or Chainlink would be the most likely in the large cap projects. And so those projects are going to see, massive speculation buy-ups before we see a major announcement from, BlackRock and then ultimately an approval from the SEC over time. The SEC just keeps losing in these lawsuits. They lost in the Ripple lawsuit. They lost in, the BNB lawsuit. And so the Coinbase lawsuit that's up right now, the base chain's going to explode. And I expect a lot of that liquidity to flow into Solana, into the base chain, into Ethereum, into XRP, and a lot of the ISO compliant projects when the regulation framework for MiCA reaches the full transitionary phase at the end of it in Q4 2024 leading into 2025. And so when people are selling right now, they're selling right before the Ripple lawsuit's over. That's got to be the craziest thing you could possibly imagine because they just can't take it anymore. They're just not patient. They're not patient enough. And I understand the frustration, right? I'm making videos talking about how XRP is going to explode. XRP is going to take off. XRP is going to grow. I can see how you guys would see those videos and be like, this guy's BSing me because it hasn't happened yet. But when I say that, I'm talking about long term. I'm thinking so far into the future that I don't care what happens to the markets in the short term. I don't care what happens to XRP in the short term. Sure, my greed-based mind wants it to go up now because, I want it to go up. Everybody does. But in reality, my long-term mind and my long-term vision of where XRP is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, treating it like a 401k that's actually not going to go away. A 401k that doesn't go away. It just is more volatile, right? So looking at Binance, Bitcoin, USDT liquidation heat map, it's a liquidation right now of the long traders to get the longs out the markets. And so all these shorts will step in. They're going to start shorting the market all the way up to 70K. And these shorts are just going to get liquidated because Bitcoin won't go back down to these levels of 40, 45K. A lot of people, are expecting the market to come back down here to get back into like 34, 35K. Some people are even crazy enough to think Bitcoin's going to go back down to like 15K or 12K and that the bull run's over. The only time that would happen is if the Fed just drastically cuts interest rates and something just absolutely catastrophic happens, when ultimately I just think money would just buy up that dip. And I don't even think it's possible for Bitcoin. I don't want to say it's not possible. Anything's possible, right, in the crypto space. But I just think that dip would get bought up, and then the real utility-based projects would shine and absorb the majority of that liquidity, like XRP and XLM, HBAR, and Algorand, and some other projects as well too that are ISO compliant, that are part of that new financial system. But looking right here at the Bitcoin power law, in terms of Bitcoin's price fractals based on the 4-year cycle period showing the potential price action of the current cycle. Well, based on this right here, according to APSK on Twitter, the 8th of November 2025, based on the 2021 fractal, the price would be expected to reach $227,000 for Bitcoin. Based on the 2017 fractal, by December of 2025, it's expected to reach $271,000. And by the 4th of December of 2025, based on the 2013 fractal, $193,000. So this plays in line with my price prediction I gave in previous videos for Bitcoin based on the Fibonacci retracement and extension tool as well too, the $190,000 price target for Bitcoin. So I don't think Bitcoin's going to breach 200K. I do think that the noise is going to be the loudest at that level where people are going to say Bitcoin's going to 250K or $500,000. At that point, I'm going to be showing you guys the monthly RSI, the stochastic RSI, the MACD. We're going to be showing social indicators. We're also going to be showing lots of other stuff like Google Trends on where we are in the macro market cycle so you can understand exactly what to do so you don't get wrecked and make the same mistakes that I made in 2018 where I just held too long. I thought Bitcoin was going to go to $100,000. Because I was listening to the herd. So you want to look at what the herd is saying, the 99% are saying, and walk away, right? Walk away from the herd. What is the herd thinking about right now? Fear. They're in fear. They're selling. That's what's happening. Lots of people are getting liquidated. They don't know what to do, when in reality, the smartest investors understand this. This is the final shakeout. In 2017, before gaining 70,000%, in only 240 days, XRP dipped below a 3-year line of support before being the top performing digital asset in 2018. So are we witnessing the final shakeout right now? Do you guys think that's happening? I think it might be happening right now for XRP. And if we look at the XRP price chart, let's do exactly what we did to Bitcoin to make this fun for you to understand based on the relative strength index on the daily chart. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see when XRP dipped below 30 on the relative strength index and where we were on the price chart. And I've circled those for you guys to understand if that would have been a bad time to back up the truck or a good time to back up the truck and buy. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. This time right here in December, didn't quite dip down to 30, but it was close. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times out of 9 times, when you look at the chart, it all looks like an incredible time to either, if you're planning on day trading XRP, or just to accumulate to lower your dollar cost averaging, right? On how much your accumulation would be for XRP and what price you're paying for it, right? So if you look at XRP on the left-hand side of the screen, and I circled these periods right here when we dipped below 30 on the RSI, and then on the price chart where we were, sure, we dipped a little bit lower than 0.005 right here back in 2015 November, and the RSI was in an uptrend. So this was a strong bullish divergence where the price is going down, whereas the indicator, in this case the RSI, is making higher lows. So we see lower lows for the price chart, higher lows for the indicator. As you can see in this little cheat sheet that we have right here, this would be a bullish divergence, and it's a strong one because price going down, oscillator going up. And you can see the other type of divergences as well too on this. And so if we just ask artificial intelligence and we see what AI has to say, strong bullish divergence, also known as a classic or regular bullish divergence, is a technique that can indicate a potential reversal in a downtrend in the start of an uptrend. It occurs when the price of an asset makes a lower low, while a technical indicator like the RSI makes a higher low. And so that's exactly what happened. We saw a trend reversal right here in November of 2015, and we started this uptrend. Now, we saw this ascending support from December of 2015 until December of 2016. For 1 year, we saw it break. Coincidentally enough, we can see these periods on the chart when the RSI dipped down below 30. Around this period, once in December of 2016 and then another time in February 2017, we're also in a downtrend on the RSI, forming lower highs, and this was a double bottom on the RSI. Now look on the right-hand side of the screen, I can see a similarity right here where we're just right now breaking below with this recent daily candle right here, below this ascending support from June of 2022. It's just a little bit longer. So XRP has been following this ascending support for, nearly 2 years, and it's breaking this right now back into this zone in this yellow box that you can see, very similar to what happened back in February of 2017, to back test these previous levels as support before breaking out and ultimately going parabolic. And so we can see bottom number 1 right here in April of 2024 when XRP bounced off this ascending support. It tried to regain momentum, ultimately failed, broke below this ascending support, and we can see bottom number 2 forming right now where the RSI is at 26. So I'm incredibly bullish on XRP because while the masses, I just look at what the masses are saying, so much negativity in the comments, right? People are like, you said it would go up, you said it would go parabolic. Yeah, not tomorrow. I'm talking about closer to election time. And so we're not even close to election time right now on the micro, let alone the end of this bull run is 2025. And so this is a dream right here if you're thinking about accumulating XRP, to accumulate it down anywhere in the 30-cent range if it dips there. It's at 42 cents right now. And so the ultimate last line of support, it's like 28, 30 cents down here. I don't think we're going to reach it down to that level, although anything's possible, like I said, if they plan some sort of another shakeout pandemic event or something like that, some black swan event. Very similar to what happened right here. This was a scam wick right here to liquidate a lot of the leverage traders, shake everyone out of their positions back in January 2017, where XRP dropped in a matter of, 1 day. I mean, it dropped like 50% in 1 day. So if that happens and XRP goes down to 20 cents in one flash crash and everyone's screaming that, I told you so, XRP's a scam, XRP's over, it would be just like what happened back in 2017. So I wouldn't be worried at all. If anything, I'd probably sell my condo, I'd sell my car, and I'd go all in. That's what I would most likely do because the evidence is too obvious on what they're doing and how much price suppression has taken place to get these central bankers and these NDA, people that have signed NDAs. And I could be completely wrong here. I'm just sharing opinion at this point in the video, but based on how many NDAs are out there for Ripple and XRP to accumulate XRP at a low price point and what they're planning on using it for in the future, this is just too obvious at this point. And so this level right here is going to be a strong level to watch within the 30-cent region. Right now we're in a downtrend, and so I would expect this to get bought up in the RSI to bounce back to this descending resistance right here. Maybe we have a triple bottom on the RSI, and then we start working our way on out of here to come back upwards of 50 on the RSI and break this downtrend. Very similar to what happened right around this period right here, where XRP, broke out, saw a little bit of a consolidation period, and it bobbled around for a period of time, between like March and early April. Not too much happened for XRP. People were still in fear, thinking that it was going to continuously trend down, and then it worked its way on out of here. I would expect something like that to take place. Maybe XRP comes up here, maybe does another back test, and then starts working its way out and ultimately starts breaking out, Q4 of 2024, and then leading into 2025, we see something big happen. So right now we're in just a macro range. And as you guys know, there's two types of markets we can be in. We can be in a trending market, or we can be in a ranging market. And so if I measure from June of 2022 to the high, we're just in a ranging market. And so anything within this range is irrelevant until we start trending above the resistance of July of 2023 at like 96 cents or below the support of June of 2022. Anything within this range does not matter at all. So it's if we break one of these key levels, if we break below the support and XRP comes down here, or if we break above the resistance and XRP closes above 96 cents. That's what we want to look for. So anything within this range, in my opinion, is a good opportunity to back up the truck. Now, I could be wrong there, but historically, every single bull run, XRP has always performed well at the tail end of the bull run if you just hold. Now, another project is XLM. Look at XLM's chart right here. XLM broke below this ascending support on this, symmetrical triangle right here. We see 1 point, 2 point, 3 points of contact, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, 5 point, 6 points of contact. It just broke below the support. And so we're looking at the next level to the downside, anywhere between, 0.044 upwards of 0.07 cents right here. Also, the RSI is at 31. As you can see in the past, the RSI didn't really breach too far below 30 for XLM. Right here it was at like 29, and it got bought up relatively quick from about 7 cents, rallied upwards of 20 cents. And so I think the XLM dip would get gobbled up really quick, and any dream buying zone would fall within this range right here where we are right now to potentially a little bit lower. And then what I feel would happen is this would get bought up. We'd start working our way through here. We're most likely going to see some resistance. As you guys can see, this descending resistance line right here. But once we break this line, in my opinion, we'd more than likely see some form of back test and consolidation period similar to what happened right here in July of 2020 to like November of 2020, where XLM tries to break out, consolidates with XRP, and then ultimately we see massive cash injection on near election going into 2025. And so we're looking to find the best possible dip and buying opportunity for the altcoins right now, whether it's XLM, XRP. As you guys can tell, most of the altcoins move together. So, if you buy one at one of these dips, like Chainlink the past month is down 30%, Ondo's down 30%, Render's down 38%. When they're up, they're most likely going to be up together. Sure, some of them are going to move first, but I expect just the same thing to be playing out for XLM as it would for XRP. So when XRP starts drastically breaking out to the upside, I would expect XLM to be breaking out to the upside too. And then I would expect HBAR as well, because as you guys can tell, price suppression is hitting the most legitimate projects, HBAR, XLM, XRP. They're all facing some form of suppression, while other projects like meme coins are absolutely surging right now, which tells me something, because this is what they want. And the elite don't want to reveal their secrets to the masses, because if they revealed the secrets, then everyone would become wealthy. They want the wealth to be reserved to a select few group of people. That's why there's the wealthy trillion-dollar families that run the world and have monopolies on a lot of stuff in the past and in the future. And so they're just behind the scenes plotting, planning, and playing the game in decades, not in days. So when we look at the weekly chart for HBAR, and if we zoom out a little bit, we can see this zone of resistance right here that it tried to break above with this wick right here in April 2024, even in March of 2024. So this would be the next zone to watch for as resistance. Also, in terms of support, if we go all the way back to January of 2020, we draw this ascending support right here. We see 1 point of contact, 2 points of contact right here, 3 points of contact. And so I would expect there to be a bounce at this level simultaneously with the rest of the market for the 4th point of contact to start working our way through this level and coming back up to this resistance zone. If XRP is consolidating, XLM's consolidating after its bounce, then I would expect HBAR to consolidate before a break to the upside, because once a level, a resistance level is broke, it snaps really quick to the next level. And so the next zone for HBAR, some people would argue that it would be right about, here at about 26 cents. Another level looks like, anywhere in the middle of this range too. Usually what I've seen after looking at chart after chart after chart, the middle of the complacency stage bounce is where the price likes to move to next. And so, once we break through, we would see something like this happen, and then a deeper sell-off right here, a consolidation, and then ultimately a retest of the all-time high. We would see something like this happen. And so, in my opinion, HBAR, very, very strong. Very, very strong hold, and also very, very strong buy the further down it gets and closer it gets to this ascending support right here. So we would need to see this ascending support level hold roughly around 5 cents for HBAR to remain strong. And also the RSI, if it dips down and sees a flash crash with Bitcoin to like 30 or 27, this would play in line with what happened the last time that this took place back in December of 2022. We saw the RSI come down here, rally up, another dip. So it came back down to like 5.054, rallied up, another dip. And so we come back down here, we rally up, maybe another dip back down to this ascending support, then we work our way out of here. So regardless of whether, we bounce right off of the support or we do a little mini recovery rally, then come back down to the support, the long-term thesis remains the same for me. And I'm extremely bullish. And the reason why is because with crypto dropping right now, people saying that it's dead, you need to pay attention to what's happening from a fundamental perspective as well too. Because today, Visa just partnered with Tangum to introduce and integrate crypto wallets for secure payments. And people really think that crypto is dead. Why would Visa be working on this right now? If you can't stomach a pullback or even a further drop in price, then get out. Crypto's not for you. Zoom out and understand this market is still in its infancy. If you know what's coming, don't forget, even in the market downturn, you could be earning more crypto by leveraging, different opportunities in the space other than just buying, holding XRP. There's a lot of projects out there, guys, that have yet to even launch yet. And while Bitcoin's, seeing a sell-off right now, and we see this consolidation period take place, we're in this current, micro downtrend right here. If we see a flash crash, V-shaped recovery and start working our way out, there's going to be a lot of projects that are going to pop up during this phase right here that are going to be great opportunities to grow your portfolio. Because if Bitcoin goes to even $190,000 or $200,000, well, from 50K, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, to get to $250,000, that's a 5x. So there's a lot of other altcoins that are going to do a 10x, 15x, 20x, 50x, 100x in these markets. And that's what we're spotting on this channel. Now, looking at total 2 right here, the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, we see this liquidation take place below the 200 moving average, but the 50 SMA is still above the 200 SMA, this blue line above the red line. We want to see it stay above it the majority of this bull run. Now, once we see the 50 SMA cross below the 200, then that means the momentum is slowing down from the bullish trend to a bearish trend. And once we see an inevitable cross decisively, like what happened right here in January of 2022, then the bull market is completely over, because that's when we then start to see the ABC wave on the way down from the peak of, the fifth Elliott wave. So this would be A, then B, coming back up to the 200 moving average, and then ultimately finding the bottom for C could be right here or right here, wherever the bottom's at, right? And so right now, we're ultimately finishing up corrective wave number 2 right now in wave number 1. So this would be wave 1 right here, this whole disbelief phase right here, where people are in disbelief. They're like, okay, the bull market's not really on. I can't really trust it because they still have PTSD from COVID, So this is wave 1. We're finding corrective wave number 2. So if it's in right now, it's in. Hey, if we go even lower, let's say we maybe come back down to this level right here, $700 billion market cap in a flash crash for wave number 2. That's quite possible. Then wave number 3 is going to be the most explosive wave over the next several months, leading to quarter 4 of 2024. Now, if we do something that's a little bit more volatile in this phase, then whatever, that's fine. We talk about black swan events, but we can't know exactly what it would be. Although the elite, are the only ones that know. We can just get ready to back up the truck and keep money on the sidelines. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.